We are up, people. How you guys doing? Okay, so we talk about balance all the time, and we must have balance in our life. Okay, so me tell you say the important program them the important YouTube channel and them things there. Them not get the proper traction to get the information out there to make the people them gravitate to, because people listen to the information, you know, people listen to garbage all the time, because lots of the garbage channel them have lots of views and stuff like that. So to get the education out there, right? To teach the people them. It take more people to understand say it's not them alone. It's us. It's us who's putting in the work. So if them say every mickle make a muckle, right? So you I do something good on your YouTube channel. I click on it, I like it, I subscribe, I share it. This is how we get the traction going. Now again, the things that we need for listen and learn to, because you see, like the scholars them, like in every culture, them have scholars, people, manners and respect. In every culture, them have like scholars will study for them culture, and people will like keep certain principle, educate the people them. Our culture, me look upon it like say it's loose, because there's no discipline within our culture to say we have people in position to teach it and set a standard so the people them can follow, more than entertainers, right? If people look on entertainers as people who are lead, that's the issue, more than just entertain. When them people they leave, whatever, then go back to them whatever life them are live. It not means that the life of them are showing a public or the life of them are living a private. Same thing with politicians. You can look on them people and say them people are role model. Them people have a duty to do. Them people should be accountable for them the way them set out. Right? Them have a duty as a politician to take care of the community with the policy and the money where them get to deal with them things there. So once we start look for entertainer more than entertainers, we look for politicians more than politicians. Everybody have them role to play in a society, in a community, everything. Right? So before me get all too deep into everything. Now this is the channel I'm gonna listen to. It's Pan-African channel. Now you see them channel and I get lots of shout out, lots of love. But you see them people here, them I do for them part to keep the fight. Right? Now she have this lady on. I'm gonna make she talk. Again, is the Pan-African channel. I just want to hear, because I'm gonna listen to her and listen to the reasoning again. What we listen to more time is not the things what we're supposed to listen to move us on to a better level. So make sure just go and talk.
Yeah, that's what you think. And they thinking it's empowerment. It bite me in the face. Because my laptop got lost at what is called in the hotel during a lunch break. And obviously the system lashes back at you. And the system lashed back at me. I was told I stole a laptop, but they use your people too, which is what said. I remember when I was a Navy Admiral, and wherever I was invited, I would take women with me. I would never go alone. I would take 10 other women with me, 11 other women with me. And I met a woman that I grew up with who was very high up at Coca-Cola at the time, the plant, one of the directors, and she said to me, do you really think this thing you're doing of traveling with your subordinates is good? I said, well, it's empowerment. She said, yeah, that's what you think. Are they thinking it's empowerment? It did bite me in the face because my laptop got lost at what is called Indaba Hotel during a lunch break. Actually, I think it was 9 or 10 or 11 or 13. What number of laptops stolen? And this laptop of the Navy was one of them. But the star witness that told them, no, it didn't get lost there. She told me she stole it. That is the key point. Was one of the women I actually had taken with. Not just that, one of the women I had fought for. Because another thing I did in the Navy was they had not ranked the people they took from South Africa. They said, no, they don't have naval experience. I said, but this is nonsense. As director HR, we recruit people from the street. This year, they go through basic training. This year, they get ranks. Those that want to be officers, they move from basic training and become officers. Within a year or so, a year or two, they get ranks. They are officers. Why with these people? They said no, because they don't have naval experience. I said, but even those we take from the street don't. We train them. So I instituted a whole thing that was called Appeal Board, over 500 people. They got backdated money because then we went back and we said you should have been ranked this. And because of that, this is supposed to be your rank and it must be accompanied with money. So it is one of the women I had fought for in that way. And that was the star witness on their side to say, yes, I stole this laptop. So yes, it did bite me. But Dr. Tata, I have refused to be made or redefined by that woman. I have continued to empower women wherever I've gone. I chair now what is called the African Parliamentary Network on Illicit Financial Flows and Tax. It's shortened as UPNIT. We are in 49 African countries now. When we started, it was Zimbabwe, South Africa, Uganda, and Malawi, 4 countries. I became the chair. And we decided we don't want MPs who come from their parliaments or who are sent by their parties. We want MPs who volunteer, who are committed to fight tax evasion, tax avoidance, profit shifting from the continent. Because when we decided to form it, a report had come out in 2015 that in 30 years only, and this has been going on from colonization, in 30 years, 1980 to 2010, we had lost sub-Saharan law, an estimate of $1.5 trillion from illicit financial flows. I can't even imagine how much that money is. I have said to people, I think if you had to make it a carpet, it would stretch from Cape to Cairo, from Morocco to Madagascar. But I think what recruited all of us is that the breakdown, it's only 5% is direct African government corruption. 30% is criminal, 65% is corporate crimes, tax evasion, tax avoidance, profit shifting, price misinvoicing. They don't pay tax here. So when we started this network, I was the only female, it was men. I fought. I told you this story to come back to say I refused for that woman to redefine me, that woman who did what she did to me in the night. I have fought for equity. I can tell you what we now call the Uplift Council, which is the highest ruling body. We have more women than men. We only have 2 men. We have, it's me, Burkina Faso. Okay, we have 4 women and 2 men. So that's me.
Queen Mother, that's you. It is normal that, at some point she, my spirit is just that she had to act like that. It's even also for your protection, for you to get to the spot that you are.
Yes, but to get out. Exactly.
If we are connected in the spirit, all of us should understand the truth. Yeah. When you read nowadays that we're conscious, you just know what is. If you don't know it, then you're still a believer of truth. Yeah. And I think that's unfortunate. We're running out of time, but I want to ask you, there's one burning thing that keeps coming up my mind. You said you were in your training in East Berlin.
Yeah.
when the Berlin Wall fell.
Yeah.
And Queen Mother,
1989.
Yes, in 1989. And I just saw that you're being invited in Berlin, I think next week on Saturday the 25th.
Next week, Friday and Saturday.
Yes, Friday and Saturday. I cannot wait to pick you up in Berlin. I'll be right there. I can't wait to spend those 2 days with you, just being there for you and being there by your side. At least I can have the privilege just to sit
I
closer
can't wait.
to you.
I am so happy.
But, because we're not unveiling anything. I really, truly believe that it is, you said something. Why is it that we must always say, let us all go back to Africa? Isn't it time for Africa to invade other spaces as they invaded us? I don't want to get into that conversation now because that's going to be a topic of another day. I also don't want to unveil your introduction at this ceremony because those are things that will get them live, not just even live direct, but we'll have to get that and get you back here. So I want to thank you for representing, and I'm sure because from your introduction where you are going to, because you've been there and you understand that space so well, what you're representing. And I want to make this clear. It is not a coincidence.
Yeah.
Now, because we keep saying this, we've been saying this since 2020, until we go back to the drawing board where all these things started, where all the breaking and everything, where the division started. Until we go back to the drawing board, we can fix every other thing on the continent. But if we don't touch the root cause, I think we would stay like that. Am I wrong?
No, you are spot on.
Thank you.
And I think while we don't want to get into that conversation, but I can just take 30 seconds and say, I've never understood why we fight Africans who work in Europe or who choose to intercept the spaces in Europe and Asia. By the way, we should intercept Asia too. We have a lot of Asians in South Africa. Why should we leave Asia alone? So my thing is, as long as we are there and we are Pan-African and you remember your roots, as long as we are there and we are bringing our representation, when I say our, as Mother Africa, into those spaces, as long as when we are there, we are planting back home, whatever it is we are reaping there. Dr. Tata, we cannot say, let Africans stay in Africa when we have white people from Cape to Cairo, Morocco to Madagascar, who live even better lives in our countries than Africans themselves. When we have China invading Africa, China is just offloading its citizens onto this continent. If they have a project that they are doing, they will bring their own employees. So because they know they are overpopulated, they are offloading Chinese onto us. We have a lot of Indians in this continent. So where does this talk come from amongst Africans? Oh no, stay in Africa. Leave them alone. No, let's not leave them alone. Let's invade them and irritate them with our blackness and melanin every day. When they wake up, they must see blackness. When we wake up, we see whiteness. Get irritated. We must irritate them too.
My queen, I'm just going to, I know we are already out of time, but I would love to take even a call.
Yes.
Is it possible?
Yes. Yeah, no, we should. We can try and take 2 actually.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so very much. So if you're ready with your question, family, you already know this is the time you can call and ask your question. You can also type the question directly in the chat. You can also type the question directly in your chat. But I want to actually, what I'm waiting for the calls, if we have any, to say this is not going to be the last episode. We're going to, okay, the calls are already coming in. Like it was just a wait. It was just a wait. I knew it. Greetings, Sister Kwame Nana, Nkrumah Nana.
Greetings, Queen. Greetings, Queen. I just want to thank you, Queen. I'm so sorry I can't pronounce your name right, but Kanyisile.
Kanyisile.
Thank you. Thank you. You've empowered us. The strength of our ancestors in the story you told of the Black Panther. I just want to say thank you, and we bless you, and we honor you, and just love and just respect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Wow.
you.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Tata is seeing me the way I clap my hands. In my country, when you do your hands like this, you are saying all praise goes back to ancestors. Thank you. Thank you, my sister, for tuning in.
Absolute. It's the same in the Bantu culture. We do the 3 times, you rub it 3 times, and then you have to cover it 3 times. You rub it, the honor, and then
yes.
So that's exactly the teachings that we talked about, that it's time for us to go out now and teach a nation, just like what you're doing. I want us to, but I think it is just a collective, because I cannot understand if this was not an ancestral journey, the killings you saw, the things that you went through at that age, to carry it into your spirit up till now at this point, and you are looking so beautiful, not sick mentally. You speak straight, nothing like, so spirituality. I like you to just end that with the spiritual, the power and the strength of our spirituality, because sometimes, we come out here, our diasporas being here have seen exactly those things that you're saying: discrimination, neighborhoods not allowed to be here. They've been lynched, they've been hanged, they've been roasted in all sort of way. And that spirit comes in. Okay, I'm going to take this other call. Yes, welcome.
Hello, Dr. Swing Tata.
Thank you.
Dr. I don't want to get the name wrong. Dr. Kanyisi Litchfield Shabalala.
Yes.
Kanyisi.
I hope I didn't say it wrong. Apologies if I did. I just have 2 questions. The first one is, I know you went to Burkina Faso. I saw you with in Burkina Faso, and you got to meet Ibrahim Traore. I just wanted to ask how that experience was. And the second question is just basically when you was talking about, I know Tata was saying that she didn't really want to get into the conversation about just like foreigners in Africa, like Chinese and other people. But what do you think about what's going on in Mozambique right now, with them kind of going at the Chinese and burning down a lot of the businesses? How do you feel about that? And yeah, that's all I have to say. Okay, thank you, and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you so very much, brother. You already touched it. I didn't want to touch Burkina Faso because I knew that was a whole chapter again that we'll have to have you here. But anyway, now he's filled it out. Go ahead, my queen.
Burkina Faso was an experience. But also to just say the humility of a leadership that understands that it does not represent itself, but it represents the people, and it is sent of ancestors. We wrote to President Ibrahim Traore as nobodies, and when I say nobody, I mean not as government officials, not as an admiral in the Navy, not just as Kanyisile, to just say, we appreciate you, we just want to meet you, just show you the love, and just strengthen your hand and your resolve. And they answered. And we went to Burkina Faso. And we were there for a week, looked after us. He gave us his time. He gave us 30 minutes, and I think we took over an hour, and he still did not stress or fret. to say, oh no, speak to the ministers. I mean, he still allowed us to meet the ministers, but he was not like our president, you know. Firstly, he got there on time. He gave us a time and he kept that time. He did not keep us waiting. Mind you, we got there where in that week there'd been an attempt of a takeover of the radio station or whatever. I mean, we know there's been 12 assassination attempts on his life by now. So this is the man who should say, I don't entertain seeing people who don't come here under accolades. You know, we are not coming here as Mandela's child. Like, who are you? He should be the person saying that, but he's not. And our presidents who are not even doing a quarter of what he's doing, who should not be fearing anything, because I mean, there is useless as ever, excuse my language, and I'm sorry to say that, but it's the truth. But they are the ones who erect walls around them. You can't penetrate their security to see them. When he walked into the room, I think as a person in spirituality, I understood that we all need to be kneeling at our altars to intercede for the protection of this man. In my language, we say pasha, which is the word we use to pray in the ancestral way. So yeah, we all need to be pasharing for this man, if I can butcher that and put it in English, because there is so much anointing on him, so much wisdom on him. He understands, even as you speak, you can tell when you talk to a person that I'm talking to someone who truly gets me and understand what I'm saying. And I like his response was to each and every one of us. He didn't collectivize his response to us. And I like his response, though, that was collective now to all of us, because we represented two countries, Kenya and South Africa. He said, the best way to can support me is to go back to your countries and make sure there are revolutions for the people in Africa, the way we had intended them. The Sankaren, the Lumumba, the Kwame Nkrumah, the way our people should have been free. Because he understands, even though he didn't go to say that, but he knew at our level, we understood. He understands that you can't have a revolution in Africa because they amass everything like they did to Saronia Mango. They amassed all their gendarmerie from French West Africa military campaigns to go come and conquer her. So he understood that if it's one country, they come at you with their media, their military, their sanctions, they come at you with everything and make sure they squash you. So the only way we truly are going to idealize and operationalize Sankarism, Patrice Lumumbaism, Nkrumahism, Nyerereism, the only way we are going to decolonize in one word without mentioning people is that if we do it at continental level. And I think that one thing I took away from him, which I already knew, but it was good to hear him reiterate it. But even then, it shows a man of humility. He's not saying we shall do this in Burkina Faso and it will go into all of Africa. He's saying, no, as we are doing it here, you should be doing it there. So it meets each other. He's not saying we'll do it here and transport it to your countries. He's such a humane man. So humble, so smart, so intelligent. I just love him. That's
okay, people. You see, in this conversation between these two queens, they just exude confidence and just exude balance within themselves. So I don't know. I am aware of ladies' ability, but when we live in our society where you hear what she said? When it's one person, everybody can go against one person. But when it's everybody doing it, just like the negative, If everybody had the negative, you can't stop it. That's why I say the people that will create the positive contents, them need the help to get the word out. Just like how them like and share all the negative. And the funny thing about it is, most of the things that they're talking about, by tomorrow, everybody forgets it. So just listen to our talk about what we have to do to create what we want and stop accepting what it is and just complain about it. Just, I said, listening to the whole program, I'm gonna go back and let you speak on our next live or our next podcast. Now, I could continue listen how she speak about Theodore.
That's all I can say with that.
Thank you.
I must also instantly say the French are not at rest because we know they've teamed up with fundamentalism, and they are attacking in the rural areas in Burkina Faso. So don't see him wearing combat all the time with a gun on his hip and say, oh, it's just the style, oh, it's a military government after all. What did we expect? No. Burkina Faso is at war. So is Mali, so is Niger. Can we get it through our heads, Africans? The West, led by the French, the 1% that rules us, are not happy. So we need to do what he asked us to do. Can we have revolutions in our own countries so that he's not targeted as this singular person who's doing something that all other 50 countries are happy with? We are happy to be, excuse my language, Dr. Ta. What's happening in Mozambique? Yo, we need a podcast just for that. Maybe we should answer that when I'm in Germany.
Yes,
because it's gonna take time. It's historical, my brother. It's
okay. When I say growing up as a kid and see how the man them represent themselves as man. Them have responsibility. Them have standard. Just the way the lady speak out Theodore, Abraham Theodore. And that me say, oh, in a Philly culture and Philly community, the man them used to represent. Again, me never said it was perfect, but there was more standards set. More than no standard, no. No respect, no. No manners, no. No honesty, no. Just no balance. And everybody's just saying there's a problem, but no solution. So when we look for, how much assassination them try after this man when the man try to do good. And that's how it is. The moment you start changing according to how it's supposed to be, that's when you're gonna have issues. But most people think that that's how it's supposed to be by not doing anything and leaving it the way it is. But understanding the way it is only always gets worse. So when I say balance, and we have to balance each other. Can't just do it over there so and not do it over here so. Because you plant over there so you're supposed to plant over here so. And them things that everything we should talk about, the community used to be the one who decide. It wasn't the government, it was the community who looked and said, okay, the road need fixing. But the fact that now nobody talks to each other, even though everybody's having the same issue. Everybody's having the same issues, but they're not choosing the solution. They're choosing to argue with each other. I say, nobody knows where the politician them live. Nobody knows how the politician them live. But everybody know how them neighbor live. Everybody know how their neighbor. Right? You know your neighbor more than you know the politician, movie stars, and all them people there. But people neighbors hungry, and people take money go on a concert. Take money go and support politicians. It now go get better, you know? And that's the truth. Until we start love and respect each other and make that cool, make it normal, so you can actually help out each other. We have to be able to get along with each other to make things better. And that's the truth. We say how easy it is for we attach two words together and make it mean something different. Add a day to a number and make it mean something. I talk about the 13th or Friday the 13th. Everybody make a big deal about it, but Friday the 13th. I mean Monday the 13th. No, nobody says anything about that because there's nothing attached to it. So this morning I listen to a podcast and I hear the man say there's somebody that was born yesterday and she was 62. And him just want to big her up. So from now on, anytime January roll around, I'll be thinking about that lady. January 13th. Can attach that lady there to that date there. Because you see, as long as I'm attach anything to something and put a meaning to it and get us to buy into it, whatever they want to sell, whatever they want to do, good to go. I'm back. See now me have them device and me have to go sort out of it. separate them when me I do a life. But again, people can attach anything to anything, put some content to it, and we accept it. But we don't put no content to nothing to create nothing that means something. Isn't that weird? You know, we have so much content, but it's not attached to anything. So these are all things I'm just going to continue looking to talk about. And if the people them want to free their mind, them can listen, they understand, or listen, to complain, or here to complain. We can do better, people. I'm out.